Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic with me, Mangy Panda. If you recall, in our last episode, we were getting everything ready to get our first batch of citizens moved into the new republic, and I went ahead and played through winter, so we are in the spring. Actually, I think it's June 1962, and yep, June 11th. So we'll take a look, see how we're coming. We're about ready to get people moved in. So over here you can see we've got just about everything's done. Sport Dynamo, cinema, hospital, the store, the warehouse, all that's done. I did move the kindergarten over here because when I was measuring stuff out, these guys right here were just outside of walking distance of this kindergarten. So we've suspended construction on that. We'll use it later for housing that we put over here. Because the kindergarten is the one thing that people will not take transport to. So they won't take a bus or train or tram or anything like that. They have to be able to walk to where the kindergarten is. If they can't walk there, then they won't go to work that day. And they become unemployed, which will lower your happiness and can create a big spiral. So we want to make sure we got a kindergarten that's close to the housing that we're building right now. As you see, we're finishing up the school. It's got 6 work days left, so these guys should hopefully finish it. 3, 2. All right, good. Yeah, we got that done. This house, we got 123 work days left, so it's at 94%. That one's about done. This one, I turned the priority down, so it's still got almost 800 work days. But once we get this one done, we can get everybody moved in. There's a few other little odds and ends that we need to take care of. Like we got a sewer tank over here that 83%, it needs to be finished. 6 work days. That can be finished even once we get people moved in. They will just walk over there and get that taken care of. So out here, we've started graveling up all these roads, started construction on the heating plant and the metro station that's going to be here. We're running our power out. Yeah, we need to make sure you guys are working on that so that we get that up and running for winter time. Oh, forgot to get rid of that. We don't need that. There are a few more things that we need to do to get ready for people to move in. Okay, so this needs to be built. Notify me, high priority. One of the reasons why I haven't turned this on, okay, so there's no power to anything in town. The only thing that has power right now are these transformers and switches, and then this right here. The reason why I did that is because fires will not start, at least I've never had one start, in a building without power. So if there's no power to the building, you won't start a fire. And since I don't have people right now in my fire station, I couldn't put out a fire if one started. I just have to let the building burn to the ground and go from there. So that's why I've been leaving this turned off, so that basically the only things that could catch fire is these 2 buildings right here. Now this stuff over here, this right here that we put in, and this right here needs to be. Okay, that is on the list of stuff to build. So we're going to build that now, turn on power to the town. While that's happening, we're going to go ahead and set some stuff up. So we need to take this distribution office right here, and we need to make sure that they're going to deliver fuel to the fire station and to the hospital. That way our first responders don't have to drive all the way either to here or over here to get fuel. There will already be fuel there. They'll automatically fill up. Once this has power, then this distribution office will leave and go start filling them up. So to get started, the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our technical service office. Okay, so technical service handles a couple things. It handles water, sewage, waste, and snow plows. Okay, so we're going to start off with sewage. All right. So we're going to buy 1 sewage truck right now. The reason for that is even though we already have our entire sewer system built, except for like that one switch over there, which will get done, and it all runs out and we dump it, in case one of the buildings, for whatever reason, is not covered by the sewer system, or something happens and the sewer system breaks down or whatever, we have a sewage truck that can go out to the different buildings and empty their sewer tanks, or go out to the sewage pump and empty it. It's just a backup to have just in case, especially when you're playing on realistic mode. You always want to make sure you have backups for things, because if things fail, you will lose happiness incredibly quickly, and it can get out of control and it can be very difficult to recover from. Okay, so we got one of those. Next, we're going to let's go to water. We did sewer. So right now, we don't have water set up, okay? None of our wells are set up, none of our pumps are set up, our water treatment plant's not set up, the water towers aren't built, nothing. We just have the piping laid in, so a couple water switches, and some water hubs, or what are they called? They're not hubs, they're substations. And I did not want to close that. So the only way we're going to be able to provide water to our town is with a water truck. Okay, so it's going to go to the border, it's going to buy some water, and it's going to go start filling up those water substations, which will then start filling the water for all the different buildings that are built right now. We will get this hooked up and set up soon, probably in another episode or two, once we've got people moved into the town. But I want to make sure that the initial workforce we bring in is focused in critical areas like shopping center, the hospital, the fire station, the school, things like that. Then once we have everything kind of relatively stable and we can bring in some more people, then we can start bringing all of this online and start producing our own water. So we'll go ahead and get 2 water trucks, because they're going to take them a little bit to get the water filled up in the different places they need to go. And also that way, we still have a backup in case something happens, in case we lose power, in case we run out of chemicals at the water treatment plant. Whatever it is, we have a water truck that can go try to help keep water going so we don't have residents going without drinking water. If a workplace goes without drinking water, what happens is you lose productivity. If a residence goes without drinking water, then you begin to start losing happiness and loyalty from your population. And that's what we want to avoid at all costs. Okay? So next, we'll go to waste trucks. So there's 2 different types of waste trucks. You've got this one right here that's the big garbage container, and then these other ones are small garbage containers. So what that is, so let's go here, let's look at the kindergarten, okay? You see right here, it has a small garbage container. So this truck, if we bought that, could drive over to the kindergarten and empty this out. Okay, but this only holds 0.12 tons of waste. This truck right here, come on, can carry 4 tons of waste. Okay, so if it goes and picks up at the kindergarten, and then we're having them just dump everything for right now at the border, it's going to load maybe 0.1 tons of waste, because it's not going to wait till it's completely full. And then it's going to drive to the border. So it's going to have 3.9 tons of empty space in there. And they're going to do that for every building. Okay, they're not going to stop at this building, then go to this building, then to this building. They're going to go pick up at one building, then they're going to go to the customs house, then they're going to come back here, then they're going to go to the next building. Very, very inefficient. Okay, that's why you use stands. And what I put in, is the big container stands. The reason is each one of these containers holds 6.5 tons of garbage. Okay, so we've got 6.5 tons in each one of those versus 0.12. This truck carries one of these containers, so it will always carry 6.5 tons. It will not be dispatched from the technical service office until one of these containers is full. So we know that every time it goes to pick up and go to the customs house, it has a full load, and that's why I use the large containers. The other place where you find large containers is in industrial buildings. Okay, so like over here, the food factory, that kind of stuff, they'll have large containers too. So we're going to go ahead and buy one of these. We're going to buy one just because, again, if we have a building that isn't covered by trash or something happens, we are upgrading a footpath and block off its access to the trash or whatever it is that's going on, this truck can still go service that building and we don't have a bunch of waste piling up, causing pollution, sick people, unhappy people, all that stuff. We want to have the backup. And then we're going to buy 2 of the big containers. We probably really only need 1, but it's decent to have 2. They're very rarely going to leave here to start with because we're not going to be generating that much trash. And the last thing is a snowplow. All right, so we'll go ahead and get 4 snowplows. Okay, and that's it. We'll fill in the rest of the technical offices later as we need stuff, but that's all we really need to get started. All right, so that's done. The next thing we need to do is we need to come over here. All right, so I already bought forklifts for the forklift garage, and I believe I told him, yes, he's going to be delivering fuel there once we have power. He'll deliver fuel here. We need to tell the forklifts what to do. Okay, so what the forklifts are going to do is they're going to go to this warehouse and they're going to load. They're going to go to this meat storage and they're going to load. And then they're going to go to the store and they're going to unload. And they're going to unload all 4 of those. They're going to load meat here. They're going to load food, clothes, and electronics. Okay, and that's it. They're going to unload at 0% or load at 0%, which means as soon as there's anything in here, is that all right? Cool, that's done. So now we should see. Yep, he's going to start going out and delivering to the fire station and the hospital and the forklift garage. All right, back here. So that means as soon as there's any amount, doesn't matter what it is, how much is in there, it's going to go take it out. And it's going to try to keep the shopping center 100% full. So it's just going to keep shoving stuff in there every time somebody buys something. Once it drops below the amount that the forklift can carry, which these forklifts is like 1.4, where's food? Food, right there. 0.88 tons of food. 0.44 tons of meat. 0.61 tons of electronics. So basically once it sells half a ton of electronics, forklift's going to come out, go to the warehouse, grab a half a ton, bring it, shove it in there. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to set this. So the internal storage, regardless, so let's go in here, let's pull this up. So if you look at this right now, if you just looking at the internal storage, you would think that it has room for 35 tons of food, 35 tons of clothes, and 24 tons of electronics. That is wrong. It has a combined internal storage. Now, cold storage for meat is separate, but it has a combined storage. So you look, because right now it's 1.67. If we crank this all the way up to 100, now it's going to be 35 tons, but it can't hold anything else, all right? So that's the combined storage. So we need to divide this up. Now, the biggest thing we need is food, okay? So we want this to hold 70% food, it's going to hold 20% clothes, and 10% electronics, all right? And that's it, because the people are not going to come get a lot of electronics. They don't need a lot of clothes. What they need a lot of is food. And food is the big one you don't want to run out of. If you run out of clothes or electronics, you'll take a hit on your happiness. And it'll be a pretty dramatic hit. But if you start getting people starving, it's a quick spiral to game over. So we want to set the warehouse up the same way, all right? We don't want any of this stuff in here. We want it to hold 70% food, 20% clothes, and 10% electronics, okay? That way, whatever, if we have somebody coming over here to deliver and we forget to check a box somewhere and they come over and they're carrying alcohol, it won't get stuck in here and fill up our space and not let us have food and stuff in there. That's the only things that this warehouse will accept. Okay? So that's done. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we need distribution offices. All right, so let's copy that one. And distribution offices, this is just temporary. We're going to put once we research technology stuff, we'll build another one, a more permanent one, probably over here in our utilities district. Generally, you want to put them close to the source of wherever they're getting things. So we're just put in a regular little dirt road here. And on here, we're going to buy a refrigeration truck, biggest one we can get, and an open hull. Or, no, sorry, covered hull. Again, two of the biggest ones we can get. And they're going to come here, and we're going to tell them you're going to go here, and you're going to load. And then you're going to come here, and you're going to unload in both of those spots. Now you see right now, we can't tell it anything. Oh, there, we got our first truck in, so meat. So now it knows it can go here and load meat, and it can go there and unload meat. Now here comes our covered haul, and now all of a sudden we've got all these other things. So we want to make sure we tell it, even though this warehouse and this meat storage only accepts certain things, okay, we want to be specific. You just want to get in the habit of telling it to load exactly what you want, because if somewhere you missed setting this up or whatever, the next thing you know, you're going to go check your warehouse, you're going to be running out of food, and you're going to look, and you're going to have all kinds of mechanical components and alcohol and plastic and stuff like that in there, because these trucks are just going to the border, buying whatever they want and taking it over there. Okay, so we want to make sure we're putting all these exactly what it's going to have. And then we're going to tell it over here specifically, you're going to unload food, clothes, and electronics. This one you don't need to check. There's only one thing. You can't even check it anyways if you wanted to. See, it won't let you. Now with this, we don't want it to stay 100% full, or we don't want to load to 100%. The reason is, okay, so this holds 35 tons of meat. And where's he at? This guy right here. Okay, so he can carry 6.5 tons of meat. As soon as we sell like a ton of meat out of here, half a ton, whatever, he's going to go to the border and load up and buy just that half a ton or 1 ton or whatever, and then drive over here and deliver it, and then drive back. So we want to make sure we don't overload it, that every time they go to the border and they come back and drop off here, that they're delivering a full load. All right. So basically we want to keep all of these at 60%. That way we know we're dropping off full loads. All right, so that's set up. He's going. All right, so next thing we need to do, we need to come over here. We need to buy a couple of vehicles. So we need to buy a covered hull. Total capacity, we'll buy him. And we need to buy a dumper. Where's my dumper? Right there. Okay. We'll go ahead and buy the big one. And once these guys get here, where are we at on our construction? Okay, so the school's done. That's at 97%. Okay, let's get high voltage switch, power transformer. The garbage containers will be next. All right. Sorry about that. So here's our open hole that's coming to here. So instead of running this through a distribution office, we're going to set up a permanent line. So he's going to come to the customs house, all right? And he is going to load alcohol. Okay, then he is going to drop that alcohol off here at our pub, and he's going to wait until he's unloaded. All right, so what that does is every time he goes to the customs house, he's going to load up 6.5 tons, because that's what he can carry. And he's going to come over here and drop it off. Now, if they're only missing 1 ton, he's going to unload that 1 ton, and he's going to park right here and slowly load in his cargo as it's used until he's empty. Then he's going to drive over here and load up and come back. So it acts like almost like a warehouse, like a buffer for the pub. Since the pub does not have a factory connection, we can't hook a warehouse up to it. So that's the next best thing that we can do. All right, and then we're going to tell him start. He's going to go do that. There he goes. All right. Dump truck. Right now, we're just going to tell him to go here, and he's going to load coal. All right? And that's it. Because until we get the heating plant done, he doesn't have a destination to drop off that coal. But his whole job in life is just going to be to drive over here and make sure we have coal in stock. Have we finished this yet? Why have we not finished this? Okay, there we go. We're getting people here. We only got 45 days left. All right, so that's done. Next up, firehouse. All right, so you notice how the like we click on some other building. So like we'll go to the store. It says we have 0 of 45 workers with a max of 45. Okay, the fire station is 0 with a max of 0. What's with that? Why don't we have firefighters? Well, that's because we don't have fire trucks. If we go over here to buy fire trucks, you see this one has a fire truck speed level of 17. This one has 23. This one has 4. That is the number of firefighters that this truck can haul. So if we bought this and put it here, all of a sudden this would change to a max of 4. So we could only have 4 people working here. They would get in this little fire truck, which is really fast but can't do much, and zip over somewhere and try to put out the fire. They wouldn't be able to because 4 firefighters is not enough. So we want to go ahead and grab 2 of these. All right. That way we can have up to 46 firefighters here. We won't have that many to start off with, and we'll buy some more later. But right now, 2 of those is fine. Hospital, to buy the ambulances, you just want the fastest one you can get. That's it. And you can, this little one that looks like a hearse, paint it up however you want. We'll do the little orange stripes on it. Sure, why not? And we're just going to load up on those. All right. Because speed is what matters for the hospital. It's how fast it can answer that emergency call at the place of residence or wherever it's got to go, pick up that person and get back to the hospital. And as we get these roads upgraded to asphalt and better roads, then we'll be able to take advantage of that speed. All right. So that's all the vehicles. That's everything we need to start off with. Okay. We're going to get supplies here. So you look, our forklifts are going. So he's carrying some food. We've just got some clothes dropped off here now. We've got meat. So you look later, they've already loaded up the meat. They're loading up the food. One of these guys is probably going to be grabbing clothes. He's grabbing food. He's got some clothes. He's going to drop off. This guy's going to zip over and he's going to grab, somebody's going to grab some electronics. So that's all good. Truck for the alcohol. All right, we're going to get rid of this. This was just a temporary road I put in to help the construction crews get over here. 4? Really? 4? Seriously, guys? You couldn't just, like, this is the problem with foreign workers. It's like, you can't just get them to stay for like an extra 10 minutes and finish the job. No. They've got to go. So, all right, do we even have anybody coming to finish the job? Oh. All right. Good thing we caught this. Something I forgot to do in the very first episode. All right. So you notice right here, Get Citizens is checked. It's set that way by default. And I don't like it. I wish it was off by default, but that's the way it is. So what this means, so the way it's set up right now is as soon as this building was finished, we would spend our rubles and buy people for it. Okay. We don't want to do that. We don't want the game to do that. We want to make sure, so we need to go through all our houses, turn that off. It's a good thing they didn't finish that and I looked at it. Otherwise, that would have been bad. And these guys here. All right. So now in the future, so that we don't have to do that, all we do is just open up residential, pick a house, any house, and now we've got the box right here in the right. And we just uncheck Get Citizens. Now, whenever we build a house in the future, it's not going to automatically try to fill it with citizens. All right, unpause. Now, we don't have, what are my buses doing? What do you guys, anybody, Bueller? You're going to the power transformers. So I told you we needed to build the power transformers. And I told you they were important to build them quickly. It's July. Oh, 4 days. Seriously, guys. 4 days. 99.93%. What heat exchanger? Oh, that heat exchanger is not done. That's a... Anyways, back to setting up town. All right, the next thing we need to do is we're not going to have that many people to start off. So we're not going to have enough people to run everything at full staff. So again, let's go back to the store. 45 sellers. We're not going to have, this determines, the number of sellers you have in your building determines the number of people that can shop, okay? We're not going to have that many people in town, so there's not going to be that many people showing up to shop at one time, so we don't need 45 people here selling. What do we need? We'll go to 15. Probably only need 10. 15's a better number. If I'm going to go over anywhere, it's going to be at the shop, because I don't want people to run out of food. That's just... Nobody's brought electronics yet? Why has nobody brought electronics? You guys are killing me. Killing me. What are you getting? You're getting alcohol. Do you have alcohol? Alright, you got your first load of alcohol. What do you got? You've got food. I've already got food. I want electronics. Anyways, back to this. So how do you know how many people you need in a building? It's experience, gut, feeling. You just kind of set the number at what you think is good, and then you just keep checking your buildings and make sure that you're not overstaffed or understaffed. So we're going to go through all these buildings. So we probably need maybe 3. Okay. Hospital, 10. Okay, and you'll notice when I cut the staff down, it cuts the doctors as well. Okay, so anything that has an expert level workforce as well, all you gotta do is change the staff and it'll automatically change the expert levels as well. Cinema, 5 is fine. It's not gonna get that many. School, probably 10. 10 at the school. The pub, 3. The indoor pool, we definitely don't need 18, maybe 3. Fire station, we're just going to go with half for right now, 23. It's a little far away from here, so it's going to be a secondary choice for where people go to work. Most people are going to go into areas around here, and then if they can't find a job, they'll go to the metro, and from the metro they can walk over to the police station or to the fire station. All right, so we did that one, did that. Oh, the kindergarten. Kindergarten, probably 7. 7's a good number. I don't need that fire truck. You have anybody coming? You still don't have anybody coming. Oh my god. All right. Your medium priority. 20 work days. Oh, I'll be so glad when we have our own people. We have a more reliable source of workers. Gonna finish that. At least finish the garbage. Speed it up a little bit. We don't even... Where... So we have no mechanisms there. Where the... We have nothing there. Where are our cranes? There's one. That's part of the reason why everything's going so slow. Where is my other crane? Is it out? Go home. Yeah, go to the power transformer, where those guys could have actually finished the job if you'd have been there. One of the reasons you really got to watch giving too many tasks. This is too many tasks for the way we have the workers set up right now for them to do. Because the cranes don't get to places where they need to be, so work doesn't get completed. Because if there was a crane here, those guys that were here would have finished this. But there wasn't a crane, so they're not going to finish. And there's not a crane here, so they didn't finish that either. Oh, go home. Why are you going to the heat exchanger? I don't need anybody at the heat exchanger. I need... Alright. Where's the heat exchanger? Just take that off the list. Okay. I don't want you at the metro either. Come on, guys. So now... Well, at least we'll finish this. Right? Yeah, see, I got in a hurry trying to get things finished, and I assigned the workers too many tasks, so the cranes aren't going to where they would be of the biggest assistance to get the work done. Some of these projects would have already been done. Okay. You're going to just go around him, go around him. Just go home. Oh, I just sent the bus home. Why did I send the bus home? All right, let's speed this up. This slowness is killing me. All right, so that's done. Most of our construction guys are just sitting around doing nothing. So while they're sitting around doing nothing, we'll at least get them started laying the groundworks for that, and that. That way I don't feel like I'm paying people just to do nothing. Alright, and garbage containers done. They're coming to the transformer, which has a crane. Still, nobody's bothered to drop, 4 work days. Four. That's what's holding us up being able to move people in here, is 4 work days. This is all nice. Don't get me wrong. We need to get all this done because we got to get the heating plant up and running before winter. But really? No, don't go to the heating plant. Are you... Okay. All right. You're getting the last workers we need to get that finished. Then we can go ahead and turn the heating plant onto a priority because that needs to get done. We're running out of time. We're in July already. We're in July. We don't have people. Come on. And you picked up 14 workers to do 4 work days. At least it'll get done. All right, we got that done. You can go to regular priority. Heating plant's on high. So we'll get that done. All right, and we will go ahead. We'll add, whoops, nope, that back to the list. Okay. All right. We have electronics. Yay. We should be ready to go ahead and hire or recruit people, citizens, workers, slaves, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. We're spending money. We're paying the secret police to go somewhere and bring us back volunteers. Yeah, volunteers. So we got 3 different types of citizens we can bring in. Okay, we can bring in immigrants from the third world, immigrants from the Soviet bloc, and experts from the Soviet bloc. So what's the difference between them? Okay, so first off, immigrants, you spend your NATO dollars, okay, which as of right now, we spent a little bit accidentally terraforming at the beginning because I wasn't paying attention, but we don't really have anything to spend our NATO dollars on. So sounds great, right? We can just spend this money that we don't use. Here's the problem with bringing in immigrants from the third world. Okay, the majority of the ones you're going to get are uneducated. Okay, they don't even have a basic education, so they're going to have to go to the school to get a basic education before they can go to work. Okay, they have to learn how to read, write. They have to understand our basic cultures, everything else, learn our language, all that. So they would just be unemployed citizens until they can get a basic level of education. Okay, next issue is, since they're not coming from a Soviet bloc country, they start with a lower loyalty. Okay, and right now we don't have any way to raise loyalty. We're going to put some monuments in soon that they can work on and build that will help kind of slow the decay of the loyalty, but it's not going to raise it. And the final thing is a lot of them will have a preference for religion, which we don't have religious buildings, which if you're playing vanilla, you're playing on a sandbox map, you don't get religious buildings. That's actually one thing I was going to put in right over here. So, I know, thoughts everywhere. A morning hall, okay? It's a religious building. We're going to stick it right there, okay? And put a footpath in. I've never played with religious buildings before. I found this one on the workshop. I figured I'd give it a try. It's kind of a non-denominational looking building, so religion wasn't banned in the Soviet bloc countries. In a lot of them it was kind of frowned upon, but it wasn't explicitly banned. In some places, like Poland, there was actually a very large religious community in there. So having religion in the game, it's not like breaking reality or anything like that. Okay. All right. Anyways, back to our housing block. All right. So that's the problems with bringing in the NATO people. All right. So we don't want NATO people. They're fine to bring in later once we're a little bit more established. We can get the school running so we can educate them. We've got a larger percentage of higher loyalty citizens so we can absorb that hit to our loyalty. And, we'll have a little religious building so they can go pray. Now, some of our Soviet bloc people will be religious too, so it's just a good thing to have. Then we go to immigrants from the Soviet bloc. Okay, so you're going to get a mix of basic educated and higher educated. You're not going to get very many higher educated people, but you will get some. So these will be just your basic workers. They can go work in any building. So they can work the store, they can work the sports dynamo, they can work at the fire station, they can work at the pub, they can even work at the school and the hospital, the cinema, wherever, or they can go build stuff. So this is going to be the bulk of the people that you bring in from the outside, okay? But you do need some of these experts. And if you look at the price, so we can invite 10 immigrants from the Soviet bloc for 4,300 rubles, or 5 experts for 5,400. So more than double the price of these guys. So we don't want to bring in a lot of these because it's going to eat up our money. But we do need them because we need them to be doctors. We need them to be teachers. Once we've got the Communist Party headquarters built and the technical university, we need them to be professors. Once we build the courthouse and the police station, we need them to be police officers. We need them to be judges. So we do need them. And eventually you want a lot of them in your republic because the higher educated people have higher productivity when they do other jobs. So if you look right here, so we need 10 doctors, we need 10 teachers, okay? That's per shift. There's 3 8-hour shifts in a day. So if we want to keep these fully staffed all day, every day, we need at least 60. So 30 teachers, 30 doctors. But we're going to want some more because not all of them are going to go work over here. Some of them are going to decide they want to go work at the store. Some of them are going to go work at the kindergarten. Because you can't specifically direct. I can tell all the people in this building where to go work, but I can't specifically direct the educated people. Okay? So we'll go in here. We're going to buy, so our educated people, our experts, I'm going to get 80 of them to start with. Okay? That will keep us with a decent amount of doctors and teachers. Okay? We're not going to be necessarily fully staffed all the time, but it'll be a good amount. All right. And the rest we're going to bring in as regular immigrants. Now you notice occasionally, like now I'm up to 85 university educated because occasionally you will get one or two that comes with normal people. Okay. We're going to go ahead and yeah, there we go. 320. We'll just fill it out. All right. So there we go. We've got our starting people. Now we unpause the game and we see what happens. Okay, so here's all our lovely little people coming out of their home. They're going to be walking to different places. Oh, that's the last thing we forgot to change. Right here. Right here, this number. Maximum workers without construction office. So that limits the number of people that can just walk to a construction site. So you see right here, we've got one guy there. We're going to get some more here in a minute. Now we're 2, 3. So a lot of these people are going to walk to these construction sites. We don't want that. So we're going to just limit it. I don't mind some of them going to work on some things, but for right now, we're just going to limit it to 10. Okay? So 10 workers, that's the most. So 10 people can come over here and slap down some bricks. That's fine. Okay? The rest of them, we want them going to work where they need to go. One of the most important spots right here, the shop. So the shop is now open. So why do we not have drinking water? What are you doing? Did I not? Oh, I forgot to assign you. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. All right, well, we're going to take a happiness hit because we're going to have a bunch of people without drinking water, but hopefully we get that taken care of quickly. Anyway, so now we've got 15 people. So here in a minute, you're going to start seeing shoppers come in. I can put another footpath in here just to make it a little bit more accessible. All right. Anytime now. Fast forward. Oh, someone was in there. There we go. So people are shopping, right? They're buying their food, they're buying their clothes, meat, electronics, all that stuff. So if we click on this person right here, right? And I would recommend periodically just looking at the people in your republic, especially people that are waiting at transportation hubs, and see what they're doing. All right. So this person right here needs 1.5 kilograms of food, 0.52 kilograms of clothes, and then they need to spend an hour doing sports. All right. So blow it down. So you can see they're getting their food and their clothes. Their free time is being eaten up right now. So they get 16 hours of free time. All right. So, all right. Now they've got their food and their clothes. They're at 100%. So now they're going to walk over to the the Palace of Sports Dynamo. Okay, they've used up 5 of their 16 hours. We'll follow them. There they are, right there. That's our little person. That's Vazov, Christoph, Anatovich. Now he's going to go in here. And after he hits an hour of sports, he'll be completely happy for the day. And he just magically teleports back home. And he'll spend the rest of his free time, and then once his free time's up, he'll go to work. All right, so let's look at... All right, so we got 3 people waiting here. So let's look at one of them. Why are you waiting here? People will be waiting here. Passengers will be waiting here if they can't get their needs met within walking distance of their home. Okay, so what are you waiting for? You're waiting for prayer. All right, well, we don't have this built yet, so they don't have anywhere to pray. So they'll stand here for an hour. So you can see they've waited for 1 minute, 2 minutes. So they'll wait for an hour. After an hour, they will recalculate their walking distance from the metro. So you can actually use bus stations, metros, all that stuff to extend the walking distance of people. And they'll look and see, now from the metro, is there anywhere I can walk that will get me what I want? Which there still won't be, because that won't be built. And then he'll go home. Now, if there was a metro or a bus or something that came here and picked them up and had a destination in its route where there was something that met their need, they would get on that transportation and ride it to where it was going, get off, and walk there. Otherwise, they're just going to stand here. So again, we'll kind of fast forward a little bit. And 1 hour, and they go home. They just teleport back to home because there was nothing within walking distance of here for them to meet their requirements. And now you see we have 36 people waiting here. And if you look, so like this person's waiting to pray. Okay, this person, they're waiting to pray. All right, so pray. Visit doctor. All right, here's a good one. All right. So we have doctors. All right. They're waiting to visit the doctor. Okay. So if we let this fast forward, we go ahead and watch this person. All right. So once this hits an hour, they'll walk over to the hospital. Now they're at the hospital. Now they're visiting with their doctor. And they're completely satisfied. Done. And that's why you periodically want to check. We're getting a little full. So here's one of the problems with getting full. All right. This is why forklift garages are the way to go when it comes to handling shopping centers. Okay. You don't want to use lines. You don't want to have trucks parked out here. You don't want to use distribution offices delivering it here. You want to use forklift garages. The reason is, if we ran out of something, so say we sold out of food, okay, everybody coming here that wanted food would just leave, all right, and they would be unsatisfied. And as soon as we got in even the smallest amount of food, all of those people, if they weren't working, would come rushing over here to get their food, and they would form a line. And if it's more shoppers than what we can handle, this fills up right here where it says number of shoppers in front of the shop, and they'll line up outside. The front of the shop happens to be where your trucks are parked, and they will block any trucks here from being able to unload into the store. So say we had a truck pull up here and they started unloading their food. It's not instantaneous. It takes some time. So a bunch of people come running over here, they flood it, and we get a line outside. This truck's only unloaded 0.2 tons of food. Okay, that 0.2 tons of food sells out. Then we can't load more because we've got this line. All those people will leave. Then we'll load another 0.2 tons of food. Then all of a sudden, all those people will come rushing back over to get food. The forklifts, they don't care. They'll drive through the people, around the people, over the people, whatever it is the forklifts need to do to make sure that this stays full. So this is one of the things we want to kind of keep an eye on. The first day This is going to be really busy. See, we got somebody outside. We got 7, 8, 10. We got 30 people. Yeah, we need to, well, that's why our happiness is taking a hit. Unable to get close. Well, no water. That's the biggest thing. Do we have water yet? That hurts. That hurts. That was a big mistake. All right, where are? Which water substation are you going to? Please be this one over here. Yes. Okay. All right. So now we should see. Yeah, everybody's got drinking water now. All right. This will slowly start to go back up. That was a big oversight on my part for not assigning them their sources. So that whole time we were waiting for this to be finished, he could have been driving around filling up all those water substations and everything would have been ready. But I wasn't paying attention. As a matter of fact, we didn't fix any of this. So mud roads to 0, asphalt roads 85, gravel roads 70. All right. So that's the basics for that. Now we just got to see how we can get people in here. People can come get their clothes, get their food. So these numbers are going to start going down. The citizens that were unable to get food or clothes, culture. Yeah, people should be able to go visit culture without drinking water. But you notice how the number of people this can handle jumped up. Okay. Because now it has drinking water. Without drinking water, it took a productivity hit, so we could not get that many people in here. All right, where are we at? All right, so that needs to be high priority. And we need to add that back on. We need to hurry up and we need to get the heating plant done and powered and ready to go for winter. Because we've already taken a heating or a happiness penalty because I wasn't paying attention to water. We don't need to take another one because people start getting cold. So you need your mechanical components, okay. You're building the heat exchanger over here. All right, that's fine. We've got a crane on site, so we're moving. See how quickly this kicks down now that we have a crane there? Instead of like before where there's no crane, it's just barely moving. We're still not going to get it finished, but you know, it helps. We've got a few people that are coming over here building this house, which is fine. Once we get the heating plant and everything set up, we'll go ahead, let's get our buses. So we've got one bus. Well, I can't set up the route until that's done. We'll go ahead. You can. Right, for right now, you just go there. All right. 5 bus total capacity. Just grab those. These are going to be buses that we're going to use to take people out here to work until we can start doing our rail system. Excuse me. Throat got a little dry there. Oh, that's full. Did we get a crane out here? No, we dropped off a load of foreign workers that we didn't need to drop off there right now. Thanks. Really need you to drop foreign workers off out here. All right, we have one bus that's going to be heading this way. You're heading over there. Hopefully you have enough people to finish this electrical stuff. Oh, you had 40 people. Nice. Very nice. All right. We've got power. All right, now we need to get that working at a high priority. And we should hopefully have a bus coming along. You're going to the heating plant with 21 workers. Come on, come on, come on. 21 workers. You want the crane? And probably still not going to finish it. It'll be close. Probably need one more bus. But we'll get a decent chunk of it done. So we got it over half done, what was left, and we're just about out of time, and we're out of time. Everybody's going to be leaving, and they're going to leave us with just a few work days left. One more bus. We do have one more bus coming. You have 28 workers, plenty. Heating plant is done. So now we can set our dumper. Your second location is going to be here, and you are going to unload. You're going to load. You're going to unload coal, and you're going to wait until unloaded and go. All right. We're moving along. We have the metro station. We have one crane there. We have, so both buses are coming, so you're bringing 16 workers. And you have 22. All right. How many days? 584, so it's going to be several trips. Where is our other crane? I bet our other crane's over here, aren't you? Yes, you are. Alright, let's cancel that for right now. There we go. He's going out to that station. Just in case we get more than 23 people. See, like right now, we had just over 23, and so those other ones weren't getting their work multiplied because we only had the one crane. And almost. We're getting there. It's starting to tick along pretty good. Still got 300 work days left. We need this up and running so we can get workers out here to run the heating plant so that we can survive the winter and we don't have people freeze to death. And we're into August. It's going to start getting cold soon. What do we got? You still got a bunch of guys sitting around. All right, well, let's go ahead and... Are you not? Yeah, you should be able to break ground on that. Okay, yeah. Why are you not? Our excavators are out. What are the excavators doing? Where are you going? Oh, you're working on the warehouse now. Oh. Okay. Oh. 22 workers, that should be enough to finish it now that we have both cranes there. And we are done. Awesome. So, now we can set up this line. All right, so you will go to the metro, and you're going to load just workers. Again, you just want to get into the habit, because like kids and passengers and tourists, not that we have any tourists, wouldn't get on anyways if there was nothing at the destination that would satisfy their needs. Okay, but you just want to be in the habit of doing that anyways, because there will be some times where you do need to differentiate. All right, so we got all them going. So you're going to start, look at your line. We're going to enable line spacing. And then, oh, were you still assigned to, oh no, we don't want you going to the depot. Get rid of that. Causing a traffic jam. Get out of here. No, you want to go to there. Go get coal. All right. And do we have anybody waiting here? We don't have any workers there yet. All right. So this needs to become a high priority. So they're just going to go and pick up, and there's not going to be anybody there to pick up. All right, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this up. All right, so we're going to tell it, all right, we want people to get unloaded there to go here, 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 and here. But we want to make sure that the heating factory gets filled and stays full. So we want to just crank this to 100%. Okay. What that means is 100% of people at this station will try to go work at the heating plant. If the heating plant is full, then they will pick one of these other three to go work at. Okay, but until then, they will keep going to the heating plant. And once we get this building in, we're going to send all the workers here. How are we doing? We're doing good. Unable to pray. Ensure one person couldn't drink alcohol. The pub's open. I don't know why. There's only like one person there. 3 people. There's plenty of room in the pub. I don't know what's going on with that. But once this gets built, I'm going to tell everybody here to go to the metro. So that means that line has people to pick up. If they don't come and pick them up within an hour, then they'll just go walk around and they'll find a place to go work. But we're good and set. We should be ready to handle winter for the... Oh, no, I do want you... You've got that done. You need to work on... No. That. And that. That's all we're waiting. Okay, so we need 40.41 tons of bricks. So that's where we'll leave this episode for today. Thank you guys for checking me out, and we'll see you next time. Bye.